The first segment of the news is brought to you by KFC.
Sweeping changes on tap for Parliament, one of them putting more power in the hands of the Speaker of the House, and a number of them requiring changes to the law. Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lapinda with your JCN News. It's great having you with us. Built in the 19th century, Parliament as we know it has outgrown its present structure, making it, as Chief Clerk Maurice Tynes once put it, grossly inadequate for 21st century Bahamas. Even Foxhill MP Fred Mitchell earlier this year publicly declared he does not like working in the historic building as it is cramped, too intimate and too accessible. While a 7-member select committee appointed to essentially make recommendations on all aspects of Parliament agrees. Reading the findings of an interim report in the House of Assembly this morning was the committee's chair, Dr. Bernard Nottage.
Your committee recommends that a new parliamentary complex be constructed within this parliamentary term, that an open competition for the design of the new parliamentary complex be held.
It was also determined that the salaries of members of Parliament be reviewed by an independent body on a regular basis, for instance, every 3 years. According to Dr. Nottage, the committee also spent considerable time discussing constituency office allowance.
It was agreed that the $1,500 monthly allowance was insufficient for constituency officers. After paying staff, rent, utilities, and other recurrent commitments, the $1,500 could not cover those expenses. One suggestion was discussed was for the government to pay the cost of rental accommodation and to cover the cost of at least one staff member. Recommendation: your committee recommends that the constituency office allowance be increased to $2,500 per month.
As for insurance coverage, the committee found that what's in place for members is inadequate.
As it did not cover family members, nor was coverage available for preventative care. Moreover, coverage for members did not extend beyond their tenure as parliamentarians. Your committee was of the view that members ought to be able to purchase additional benefits as the insurance plan was contributory and would not add to the government's expenditure. Recommendation: your committee recommends that insurance coverage should include coverage of members' spouse and should continue for members after their parliamentary service had ended.
Committee members have further recommended that a Parliamentary Administration Commission be created in law. That commission would comprise the Speaker of the House and 2 government ministers, one of whom should be the government leader in the lower chamber, and 2 opposition members, one of whom will serve as leader of opposition business in the House of Assembly. It's also suggested that the commission be responsible for the recruitment, training, promotion, and discipline of the House of Assembly staff. Now, joining Dr. Nottage on the Select Committee were Mr. Mitchell, Bamboo Town MP Renwood Wells, South Beach MP Cleola Hamilton, along with opposition members Central Grand Bahama MP Nico Grant, St. Anne's MP Hubert Chipman, and North Eleuthera MP Theo Neely. No word on when a final report will be submitted. Before adjourning, House members passed an amendment to the Local Government Act and the Bahamas Protective Areas Fund Bill. While the government's decision to press the brakes on implementing value-added tax scores high marks with the Bahamas Hotel Tourism Association, who actually sees a smart tax as the better approach to drum up additional revenue, BHTA President Stuart Bowe, in a statement today, says the delay allows adequate time for both the public and private sectors to do the planning, training, and operational conversions necessary for the transition. Mr. Bowe stresses that failure to plan will place an added financial and operational burden on businesses and could prevent the government from realizing its anticipated revenue. The BHTA president's concerns are backed by a survey the organization conducted earlier this year, showing that only 22% of the respondents indicated that they had a full understanding of how a VAT works. According to Mr. Bowe, beyond their desire to understand new legislation, accompanying regulations, and reporting requirements, businesses cited the need for understanding the necessary changes to accounting and inventory systems, installing new point-of-sale systems, revising contracts and menus, and training staff well in advance of VAT's effective implementation date. Businesses also expressed concerns about transition matters affecting purchasing, inventory management, and existing business contracts. Mr. Bowe said the BHTA was impressed by the approach undertaken by New Zealand, where the private sector was well engaged in the readiness process, helping to write the plan and facilitating its delivery, adding that it looks forward to a similar engagement with the Ministry of Finance. We turn our attention now to news from the police, who are reporting the death of a 22-year-old man following a traffic mishap on Exuma shortly after 1 p.m. yesterday. We're told the victim was traveling on Queens Highway, Farmers Hill, in a white Honda Accord when he lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a utility pole. The driver, whose identity has not yet been released, suffered serious injuries. He died at the clinic. A team of police left the capital today to assist with those investigations. An investigating team also set off for North Andros this afternoon, where a fire destroyed 2 buildings on the settlement of Nicholstown. Officer in charge of fire services, Superintendent Walter Evans, says the fire started just after noon Tuesday at a restaurant before eventually spreading to a nearby church.
This building was destroyed, but before the building was destroyed, a nearby building, which is a house of worship, a church, that building caught flame and was ignited, and that church was also destroyed. At this point, we do not know what the ignition source was. At this point, we cannot confirm, but however, arson is being ruled out, and also the value of the building and the church, that is a restaurant and the church. We will have the information concerning the value sometime later. We don't know have a dollar value at this point.
Well, as you just heard, the cause of that blaze is still unknown, but at this point, authorities have, however, ruled out foul play. A 71-year-old Abaco man has been arrested in connection with a marijuana field police found in Crossing Rock yesterday. We're told intelligence-led officers went to South Abaco, where they discovered 2,500 marijuana fields ranging in height from 1 to 6 inches. The drugs have an estimated street value of some $250,000. Police are actively investigating this matter. Abaco police are meantime looking for 45-year-old Delroy Everington Miller of Crossing Rock, Abaco, and Westmoreland, Jamaica. He's wanted for cultivating marijuana plants. Authorities say Miller is 5 foot 9 inches tall, has short hair, brown complexion, and medium build. Police are advising that if seen, do not approach, as the suspect's considered armed and dangerous. Simply call the police. Police arresting another murder suspect. A 23-year-old man of King Street was taken into custody yesterday in connection with a murder that occurred on Saxon's Way in Mason's Addition earlier this month. According to reports, the incident took place last Wednesday as 20-year-old Clarence Coakley was sitting at the back of a home. He was reportedly shot in the head, execution style, by a gunman who fled on foot. Coakley died on the scene. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
KFC Nassau's value deals have all your favorites, starting at $2.99. Try a 1-piece chicken and biscuit, our spicy zing sandwich, or our 6-piece spicy bites. Try our famous bowl with bites, famous rice bowl with bites, 4 spicy or spicy barbecue wings, add a small fries and a 16-ounce drink, or enjoy an 8-piece thigh and leg meal with your choice of 2 sides. Value has never tasted so good.
Super Value wishes every mom in the Bahamas a happy Mother's Day and helps to make her day special all month long with savings like 5 pounds Mahatma Jasmine rice, $6.99, Mother's Ready Cut macaroni, $1.59, Libby's Vienna sausages, 59 cents, Vitamalt tonic case price $23.76, 12-ounce size 99 cents, and delicious chicken leg quarters in the 10-pound bag at only $1.09 a pound, plus quality stamps including quality markets. Super Value, the Bahamian supermarket.
Pretty boy, pull over.
Hey, Miss Susie, what you saying?
Epic, have tires for this bloody meal truck here. Any and all sizes. Show me out. Epic, over there. Have tires for this chutney. Does it look like you have them in the shoes for these?
Epic Fire Trail is open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Look at that fancy contraption. Plop that big truck tire off and on quick, and it ain't all jam up. And you can turn around easy and plenty space.
Well, Miss Susie, you traveling?
Be quiet. Just smile for the camera.
ESC Distributors Wholesale, the experienced beauty suppliers, has everything you need to look your best, feel good, and enhance your beauty. Soaps, creams, lotions, and oils in top name brands, including those sought-after bedazzled products. ESC Distributors has facial powders, matte and shimmer eyeshadows, and luscious lip glosses. And for your hair fancy, an exciting array of hair and hair products. ESC Distributors Wholesale, Nassau's premier beauty suppliers. Soldier Road, opposite NCA, 394-0819.
Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell has sent a note to the government of Turkey expressing condolences in light of the deaths following an explosion and fire at a coal mine yesterday. Scores of Turkish coal miners are still missing after the incident, which killed at least 245 people. Dozens escaped the pit in the western town of Soma, but officials say about 120 are still unaccounted for. International reports indicate that protests have since erupted in the town, with crowds hurling abuse at the government. No survivors have been found in the last few hours. It's been hailed as one of the Christie administration's most groundbreaking achievements. Come this September, the Bahamas Agricultural, Marine and Science Research Institute, or BAMSI, is set to open in Andros, and with the pending start date just months away, government officials earlier this week took some members of the media on a tour there to witness the progress made thus far. Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis led the tour and says so far everything is moving along smoothly.
We are working. I mean, the chatter over the last several weeks about what the government has done and not done, and how we are fulfilling our promises or not fulfilling our promises. Well, you know, we want the Bahamas to see that what we are doing, we are fulfilling what we said we're going to do. You would have had your cameras, you'd have seen what is happening here in North Andros. This project in North Andros, right, is designed to be the catalyst for the future of the Bahamas, period. This is laying the foundation for diversifying our economy and ensuring that there will be other means of revenue for our Bahamian people.
Ground was broken on the site last year, and since then officials say the work hasn't stopped. Still, Mr. Davis admits the project has encountered challenges like finding out that the ground on which the school sits is not as solid as they thought, and hiccups in meeting certain deadlines. But he says they've all been worked out. Chief Architect and Project Director at BAIC, Livingston Forbes, says while the government has already shelled out nearly $25 million in contracts for construction, they'll soon have to part with nearly $10 million more to put the finishing touches on the school.
We have 22 contractors, so that's 22 separate contracts totaling more than $22 million in construction costs. We anticipate there will be another 7 or 8 in the next coming couple of weeks, because we've got to do the packing house and the processing plant, along with a couple of residential for the farm managers and a couple of security buildings and tuck shop for the students, and along with the civil and the site lighting, which we have not yet commenced, which is a major part of the project too. So there are going to be quite a few more $1 million the government would need to spend in order to get this up to the standard that would be required, so that the students can perform and can go to school in a very comfortable environment.
The DPM says the final cost of BAMSI will be outlined in the upcoming budget debate. And 2 years ago, 23-year-old Demont Mitchell was involved in a car accident that nearly killed him. He suffered extensive injuries, and for many who see him today, they agree his recovery has been nothing short of miraculous. But as Corval Python reports tonight, this young man's near-death experience has inspired his father to do all he can to save the lives of others.
Seeing Demont Mitchell today is amazing. Back on October 7th of 2012, Demont, then a soccer player and aspiring accountant, was involved in a serious car crash. He suffered traumatic brain injury. Left in a coma for 3 weeks, his prognosis did not look good.
It really is a tragedy that, and unfortunately, that money defines who has access to quality health care or not. And I think we all agree, even though we accept money as being a reality, that that should not be the case.
That's DeMont's dad, Matthew Mitchell. Watching his son cling to life, understanding the extent of his injuries, and knowing the toll both financially and emotionally such an injury can have on loved ones of those who suffer brain injuries, he came up with the idea of creating a foundation.
The foundation is a non-profit organization whose primary objective is to reduce the incidence of traumatic brain injury and acquired brain injury in the Bahamas through brain injury awareness, education, research, prevention, treatment, and advocacy.
Matthew Mitchell and DeMont's surgeon, neurosurgeon Dr. Magnus Ikadidi, are the founders of Mitchell Ikadidi Brain Injury Foundation.
The types of things that people who suffer brain injury experience are typically short-term memory loss. Your long-term memory is generally intact, and he underwent fairly extensive surgery, or rather rehabilitation, much of which isn't available in the Bahamas. At Jackson Memorial's Ryder Trauma Center, he spent the better part of a year over there, and the costs are astronomical to be able to do that. As a matter of fact, it's probably somewhere in the range of $250,000 to $350,000.
We are here to build a country, and I am very pleased. I'm very happy. Probably, if I will live long to see the ramification of this foundation by the grace of God, probably the best thing that will happen to us will not be my skills as a surgeon. Probably will be foundations such as this.
The foundation's main goals are raising awareness, assisting victims of brain injury, promoting and supporting careers in neuroscience, and creating a world-class neuro-rehabilitation center here in the Bahamas.
DeMont's on a nice road to recovery. He's doing quite well, and it's indeed a proud moment for me as a parent to sit and look at him and have the same wishes for anybody that happens to suffer brain injury.
DeMont's recovery has been long, and he still has a long way to go. His father hopes to provide others experiencing a similar struggle with the help, hope, and hands that were extended to him and his family as they watch DeMont learn to live all over again. Corbell Pythram, JCN News.
Well, that wraps up this portion of our news. Stay with us for a check on sports and weather.
This is your smartphone on 4G. And this is your smartphone with the scorching fast data speeds of 4G LTE. LTE is 5 times faster than 4G, so you get the music you want, well, now. And buffering? Forget it. Stream your movie non-stop from the moment you press play. LTE offers a whole new mobile data experience that isn't just 5 times faster, but also 5 times smoother and 5 times better. Experience mobile data speeds in a way that will change your life forever with LTE. Live the experience. BTC every day.
It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. It's not too late to build yours. Weather the storm with fidelity.
If you could see the inside of your engine running on Shell Helix Ultra, you'd see how active cleansing technology really works. Continuously cleaning and protecting your engine. Shell Helix Ultra with active cleansing technology. Performance you can see.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Torino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening Sports. Once again, it's being brought to you by Facades Men's Fashion on Blue Hill Road South. The USA Track and Field Federation naming a 55-member team that will compete at the inaugural IAAF World Relays set for right here in New Providence next weekend, May 24th and 25th at the new Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. The USA will compete in all of the relays from the 4x100 all the way up to the 4x1500 meters. They've put some of their big names on the squad: Wallace Spearman, Tony McQuay, Walter Dix, LaShawn Merritt, Mike Rogers, Natasha Hastings, Dee Dee Trotter, and Sonia Richards, just among some of the elite U.S. athletes named to the relay squad. The top 8 countries in the 4x100 and 4x4s at the relays will automatically qualify for the 2015 IAAF World Championships in Beijing. Meanwhile, Jamaica's world and Olympic medalist in the 200 meters, Warren Ware, is looking forward to taking on rivals in that 4x200 meters at the World Relays here in the Bahamas. Warren Ware says he's all excited about the relays and he's excited about the opportunity to set a new world record in the 4x200 meters. Currently, the world record sits at 1 minute 18.68 seconds, which was set back in 1994. Those of you who love flag football, you had to suffer this past weekend, Mother's Day, and the flag football leagues, they kind of shut it down to celebrate their mothers. But they'll be back in action this Sunday here in New Providence, the Bahamas Flag Football League. They'll be at the Winton Rugby pitch. They'll start at 1:30 p.m. with a men's matchup, the Lions taking on the Rams. The late men's game starts at 5:15 p.m., the Predators and the Ravens. On the women's side here in New Providence, at 1:45 p.m., the Dashers and the Lady Ravens will open things up. The ladies' late game starts at 4:15 p.m. The Lady Spartans taking on the Pink Foxes. Over there in Grand Bahama, the Grand Bahama Flag Football League at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex, they'll start at 12 noon on Sunday with the ISS Marines taking on Bahama Rock, and the late game comes your way at 7:30 p.m. The Lady Enforcers take on High Rock at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. Flag football back in effect. Earlier today on our radio station, Love 97, we had Jeff Rogers as he is set to host the 27th edition of the annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp that features NBA players. Jeff says this year, in addition to Michael Sweetbells Thompson, our resident superstar basketball player, he's got the son, Klay Thompson, who's just coming off the NBA playoff with the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson will be here. Kyrie Irving from the Cleveland Cavaliers will be here this year, as well as a number of outstanding coaches from the NBA, including Mark Jackson, formerly of the Golden State Warriors. Meanwhile, this year, the camp will also have an opportunity for parents to get on the court and show their basketball skills as well. The Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp set for June 30th to July 25th. You can get registered at jeffrogersbasketballcamp.com. Tonight in the NBA, when the playoffs continue, they'll have 2 teams with their back against the wall. And on the other hand, they'll have 2 teams looking to close out the series and go home and rest up in time for the division championship. The Brooklyn Nets, one of those teams with their back against the wall, they'll be in Miami tonight in South Beach to take on the Miami Heat. Miami leading that series 3-1. It's Game 5 tonight. Brooklyn must win to stay alive. 7 o'clock start on TNT. Portland must win to stay alive. San Antonio, they are up 3-1 in their Western Conference semifinals. It's Game 5 tonight, 9:30 p.m. Can Portland push it to a Game 6? And finally, from the world of golf, Tiger Woods has been limited to just 4 PGA Tour events this year, and as a result, his year-long reign at the top of the world golf rankings could come to an end very soon. Adam Scott is now just 0.1 points behind Tiger Woods, and he could pass him as early as this weekend. We'll have to wait and see if Tiger Woods can hold on to that #1 spot for a while longer. That'll do it for your JCN Evening Sports. Once again, it's being brought to you by Facades Men's Fashion on Blue Hill Road South.
The FML Group of Companies, whose owner and the CEO is Craig Flowers, is making waves in many parts of this region as he has received government approval for the establishment of gaming platforms in the Turks and Caicos Islands, Bermuda, and now in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
The team that we have here in Haiti has gone above and beyond my expectations. I'm very pleased with the way things have gone. It certainly taught me a great deal with this type of reception, and I'm going to take a lot from it as I go back home and give a lot of thought to it.
With FML Group of Companies, everyone wins.
For that sophisticated, silky smooth look, Bedazzled gives you Ultra Double Platinum 100% tangle-free human hair. Bedazzled Ultra Double Platinum. Full of body, full of life. For that perfect blend, Ultra Double Platinum, it's the world's best human hair. It's Bedazzled. Available at the Beauty Shack, Soldier Road, opposite NCA.
The weather is brought to you by Bedazzled, 100% tangle-free human hair, distributed by the Beauty Shack.
Good evening, and this is your JCN weather. A surface shower still causing cloudiness, showers and thunderstorm clouds as they move through now the northwest Bahamas. You can actually see the whole islands now covered with clouds, showers and thunderstorms. You should expect some clearing over southeast Bahamas sometime late tonight into early tomorrow morning as the system moves towards the west and impacting now the Grand Bahama, Abaco, the Bimini and the Berry at the time with some showers and thunderstorm activity. In your marine forecast, still on the windy side, those winds are the southeast to south at 50 and 20 knots, seas 47 feet. Your tides, you can expect a high tide at 8:30 tonight. The next low tide comes at 2:57 tomorrow morning. Sunrise will be 6:25 tomorrow morning, set to even at 7:47. UV index 6, your water temperature 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and the moon phase full moon. Weather night, another cloudy and breezy night with a few showers, maybe light with a thunderstorm. Low temperature going down to 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, another cloudy and breezy day with scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms, high temperature reaching 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And if I the weather look, we're going to keep the clouds in forecast through tomorrow night with some clearing by late Friday into Saturday morning. Low temperature daytime will be in the mid to upper 80s and nighttime in the lower 70s. That puts a wrap on your evening weather. Godfrey Burnside.
The weather is brought to you by Bedazzled, 100% tangle-free human hair, distributed by the Beauty Shack.
And with that, we end our news this evening. From all of us here at JCN News, have a wonderful and safe evening, everyone.
Take that mess from off the wall. Give that baby back its ball. Leave other people's things alone. There's other ways to get involved. Get involved, don't be no fool. Stay in school. Let your mind become a tool. Just were made for fools to be. Locked away from society. Get involved, get involved. Get involved, get involved. Get involved, get involved. There's not a way to get involved. Get involved, get involved. Let's go. All right. Woo. Don't be no fool, stay in school. Let your mind become a tool. Days were made for fools to be. Locked away from society. Get involved, get involved. Get involved, get involved. Get involved, get involved. There's not a way to get involved. Come on, get off of me! Woo! I'm ready! Woo! All right, let's go! Woo! Woo! Don't be no fool, stay in school.